Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Smart Hacks. My name is Gary, and in this tutorial, you'll learn how to animate images using Adobe Premiere Pro. Previously, we masked our scanned images in Photoshop. Now, let's launch the Premiere project file created by the audio team. Import your images and drag the background to the V1 track on the timeline where the audio starts. I'm working in the effects workflow at the top. With the background clip highlighted on the sequence, press Shift 5 to bring up the effect controls. If you don't see any effects, twirl down to expand the panel options. Also, make sure your effect timeline is displayed by clicking the triangle in the upper right corner. Click to activate the position effect. Now, you can click the object directly in the program monitor and position it how you like. If your background is bigger than the program monitor dimensions, you can adjust its scale in the effect panel. Press Shift-I to jump to the in point. Let's add a keyframe by clicking the stopwatch icon next to position. Now press Shift-O to jump to the out point of this clip. Change the vertical position of the background to give it subtle motion. We started at 410, so let's enter 350. A new keyframe is added to the effect timeline. Now, play back the segment. The background travels 60 pixels over the duration of the clip. Above the background track on the sequence, let's drag in some waves, then the boat, and finally the other waves, which I created in Photoshop by flipping it horizontally. Now comes the fun part of animating each of the tracks. To animate the waves, select the waves on the V2 track and change its horizontal starting position. I set mine to 640. Shift-I to jump back to the endpoint. Click the stopwatch icon next to position. Then I drag the playback head one tick mark to the right and change the X position to 588. I want to animate the waves the same way you might for a stage play, so the back and forth motion needs to repeat. You could repeat the previous steps manually, but we want to work smarter. So, let's try some tricks that work for other Adobe programs. You could hold down the Shift key to select more than one keyframe because Shift usually adds to your selection. Instead, let's just draw a rectangle selection over all the keyframes. Holding down Alt on Windows or Option on the Mac and dragging your selection usually clones the selected objects, so you can quickly fill in the rest of the effects timeline this way. Then, repeat the process for the second set of waves. Now we'll select and animate the boat. We'll do the same thing we did for the waves, only this time we'll also affect the vertical position and rotation. Shift-I to return to the clip's endpoint. Set the position, click the stopwatch icon next to position and also next to rotation, and leave it set at 0. Now scrub ahead one tick mark with a rotation of -2. Move ahead one more tick and rotation set to 6. Using the same keyframe cloning method from before, select all the keyframes, hold down Alt or Option key while dragging the keyframes to the right. It's not so important that you're precise with their placement. You can avoid some of the mechanical feeling of motion by moving some of the keyframes off the beat just a little. By the way, the triangles allow you to navigate to the previous and next keyframes on the respective tracks, and the circle icon allows you to create a keyframe at the current time. You can also clear all the keyframes for the selected effect by clicking the stopwatch a second time. A warning dialog will prompt you to confirm you want to clear all the keyframes. As a bonus, let's add a wave filter to our wave tracks to give them even more motion. Type wave in the effects search field. Drag Wave Warp onto one of the wave clips. Set the wave width to 136. Right-click the clip on the sequence and choose Copy. Now select the other wave clip on the timeline and right-click to choose Paste Attributes. Ensure that the Filter Wave option is checked and uncheck the motion as we don't want to overwrite our earlier edits. Premiere pastes the same filter settings onto the second wave track. You can use this method to quickly paste clip attributes to other clips on your timeline as needed. Press spacebar to play back the animation.
But the huge waves cause it to shake and rumble.
I hope you enjoyed this episode and learned a little more about the power of Premiere. Be sure to like and subscribe for more videos. See you next time on Smart Hacks.